What happens when you, as the main applicant, meet the requirement to getting your ILR, but your dependent does not meet the requirement to getting ILR? What happens? Yeah. Hey guys, welcome again back to another video. My name is Mercy. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you watch my videos and they add value to your life, please subscribe to my channel. So let's say you are the main applicant on your skilled worker visa and your partner is the dependent and they are in the UK because of you, because you got a job and a sponsor. But for one reason, for instance, childcare, because sometimes childcare in the UK can be hard. For one reason, you want to switch from being the main applicant to the dependent, and your partner wants to be the main applicant. The switch, is it going to reset the clock on the years that you've already accumulated towards getting your ILR, or it's going to continue to count? For instance, you've already done 2 years in the UK and now you want to switch over. Will it start counting again from 0, or will it start going to 3, 4, 5, and then you can apply for your ILR? In today's video, I'll be talking about how certain switches affect your ILR, and I'll be focusing on the skilled worker visa. Yes, I know that there are certain visas that you can get ILR on different time frames, but I will be focusing in today's video on just the skilled worker visa on the 5-year route. So let's discuss some of the dangers of switching visas. 1, your application may be denied. So you may be on a different visa and want to switch to a different other visa, and that application can be denied. 2, if they find out that you used false information, your current visa that you are on can be revoked. Okay. 3, changes happen all the time. You remember in April they made new changes. So if you switch from your visa to a new visa and then there's a change that happens and they say, although these people on this visa are not allowed to stay in the UK anymore, what happens? You are going to leave. So yes, changes can affect your visa application. 4 will be time restrictions. Every visa has its own time restrictions. Okay, so when you are switching visas, make sure you know what time restrictions are on the new visa that you want, and also what are the perks or benefits of the visa that you are on. For instance, on the skilled worker visa, you are not supposed to claim any public funds. Okay, and maybe on a new visa you may be able to or may not be able to, or you may even lose more benefits. So do your research work, think about it properly. But then if you do decide to go ahead to switch your visa, as I mentioned earlier, whether from a main applicant to a dependent, yes, you can do that, but the number of years that you have is going to reset. If you are switching from main applicant to dependent, let's say you've already done 3 years as a main applicant on a visa and you want to switch to being a dependent, those 3 years suddenly do not count. You are going to start again from 0. And when your dependent also wants to switch, maybe he's been a dependent for 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, but now he wants to be a main applicant, those 4 years are going to cancel. They are not going to count. They are going to start counting again from 0. So consider this before you make a decision. I think it will be better if your partner also looks for a job to become a main applicant. But I don't know what the circumstances of your situation may be. Maybe it would be beneficial for one of you to be a dependent. Either way, think about it, whether you want to switch or you want to remain as it is until you get your ILR at least. Question number 2 is, will your years reset when you change employers? So you were working, or you came into the country with one employer, but then you switched to another employer. The years that you've already done with the old employer, are they going to keep counting towards your ILR, or are they going to reset? The answer is, ideally they should keep counting if you follow these conditions. Number 1 is that the new job should be in the same occupation code as your old one. So remember that under the shortage occupation list, each occupation has a code. Okay, so your new job must be in the same code as the previous one. So you can't be a nurse and then go and look for another job as a carer. You are leaving codes. Okay, and because of that, it will not count. you have to start over again. But if you're leaving one employer as a nurse, you're going to another employer as a nurse, they are in the same occupation code, so it will keep counting if you meet the rest of the conditions. Number 2 is that your sponsor must meet all the requirements that the government has stipulated for a sponsor to have. Okay, they must meet them. They must be approved government sponsors. If not, you would not get your visa. Number 3, we all know that in April 2024, they announced new changes. If you had your visa before April 2024, those changes do not affect you. However, anytime after April 2024, all those new visa regulations are going to affect you. An important one is you being able to be earning £38,700 a year in order to be on a skilled worker visa. So think about it properly. Ideally, if you're able to meet all of these requirements, then your years are going to continue counting. If you've already done 3 years and you do 2 more, you're going to be able to apply for ILR. But if you're not able to meet these requirements, there's a chance that you may lose your visa, or you may end up not having any visa at all, especially if you were fired from your previous job, and then you may lose your chance to get your ILR. So question number 3 is, what happens when you are the main applicant and your partner is also the main applicant, but you have children that you want to bring as dependents to the UK? On whose visa are the children going to be granted dependent visa on? You or your partner? So the answer to this is that whoever came to the UK first on a skilled worker visa, or whoever has the shortest period of leave. Okay, so if your partner came first 3 years ago, and then 2 years after that you also came, your children are going to be dependents of your partner who came early on, like 2 years ago, okay, and not you who just arrived. So whoever's visa is closest to expiring is who they are going to give the dependent visa of your children to. I hope you understand. The next question is very simple and very straightforward, but I still see people asking it. And the question is, can you be on a skilled worker visa without a sponsor? Can you get the skilled worker visa without a sponsor? No, you cannot get a skilled worker visa without a sponsor. You need a sponsor, whether you are going to be the self-sponsor or somebody else sponsoring you, but you still need a sponsor. You cannot get the skilled worker visa without a sponsor. So for some people who are unlucky to enter into fraudulent deals with promise of getting sponsorship, but then they come and they are not giving sponsors, you cannot get skilled worker visa without a sponsor. Okay, you do not have skilled worker visas. Whatever lie they told you, you do not have skilled worker visa. In order to remain on a skilled worker visa, in order to even get a skilled worker visa, you need to have a sponsor approved by the government. Okay, next question, I think this is question number 5, is when can you start your application for ILR? So provided you meet the requirements and everything else, you can start your application for ILR within 28 days of your visa expiring. Question number 6 is, what happens when you as the main applicant meet the requirement to getting your ILR, but your dependent does not meet the requirement to getting ILR? What happens? Or do your dependents get ILR based on the fact that you have gotten ILR? No, it's not an automatic anything. You must meet the requirement to get an ILR. Your dependent must also meet the requirement to get an ILR. Sometimes it will happen that you may meet the requirements, but your dependent cannot meet the requirements. So what happens is there's an opportunity for your dependents to try again after 3 years. In that case, you would have an ILR, but your dependents will not have an ILR. So if your dependent fails to get the ILR, they can automatically apply again after 3 years. Amongst other things qualifying you to get ILR, you must not stay outside of the UK for more than 180 days continuous in a 12-month period. That means that every year you should not live outside of the UK for more than 180 days. half days are not counted. So let's say you are traveling from UK to Ghana. You were in the UK for 6 hours of the day or 10 hours of the day, and the rest of the day you spent it in Ghana because that's when you arrived. That day is not counted. For every 24 hours that you're not in the UK is 1 day. So if you do 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours for 180 days, then you are jeopardizing your chances of getting an ILR. So before I end the video, I just want to give you some bonus information. So what happens if you have a passport that has expired, but then you have a valid visa inside that passport? So the passport itself has expired though, but the visa that they have given you still has a number of years on it. What do you do? And especially if you want to travel in and out of UK, what do you do? So this is what you can do. First of all, you have to apply for a new passport, okay? And then when you get that new passport, you have to make an application to transfer the valid visa onto the new passport. But if you have to travel when the transfer has not already been done, then you can go with the old passport with a valid visa in there, and then the new passport as well. Okay, so you have two passports, one new with no visa inside and the expired one with a visa inside. Okay, so that is bonus information for those of you whose visa passports are about expiring and you don't know what to do. Thank you very much for watching. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. And also I've got a Telegram page for teachers and nurses, all kinds of nurses, and in there we've got helpful resources and documents, CV templates, IELTS materials that you can study and learn with if you're wanting to write IELTS. Okay, and we chat to each other as well. We ask ourselves questions and we get answers on there as well. Okay, anyone can answer your question. It's very helpful. It's very helpful. So click the link below in the description box if you want to join the Telegram page, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.
Yeah.